That's right, social media through the eyes of a family physician. This is the Family Medicine Rocks podcast on a Sunday night here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. My name is Mike Sevilla. So last week, Congress, debated, didn't get a lot of press because there wasn't a lot of controversy about it. You may remember at the end of December 2011, there was this huge thing at the end of the calendar year, talking about, passing this thing, and the big thing that makes the mainstream press are a payroll tax cut and all that kind of stuff. But what's buried a little bit in the legislation, as usually what happens with other types of legislation, are having to do with Medicare. Medicare payment for physicians, and the code words are sustainable growth rate and also doc fix, SGR, that type of thing. And what happened this week, which did not get a lot of press because there wasn't a lot of controversy, was that the U.S. Congress passed legislation to prevent the 27.4% Medicare payment cut that was due on February 29, 2012 at the end of this month. So Congress can say, hey, we didn't cut your payments. So that means you got an increase in payments. That's how Congress works because they're idiots. So the American Academy of Family Physicians put out a press release last week on their website, aafp.org. It's titled, AAFP denounces Congress for failing to repeal crippling SGR formula. This is from February 2017. The AFP has assailed Congress. They brought out the thesaurus for this, kids, for failing to approve a long-term Medicare physician payment solution and opting instead to settle for another short-term payment patch. Glenn Stream said this: Congress has missed an important opportunity to permanently solve the Medicare physician payment crisis, ensure health security for elderly and disabled Americans, and enable physicians to develop the long-term plans needed to redesign their practices into patient-centered medical homes. On February 17, both the House and Senate passed H.R. 3630, which provides a 10-month extension to the current Medicare physician payment rate. Great. Lovely. Passage of the measure, which also address tax relief and unemployment benefits, essentially blocks a 27.4% Medicare payment reduction that was scheduled to take effect on March 1st as a result of the Sustainable Growth Rate, or SGR formula. Because H.R. 3630 postpones but does not eliminate the threat posed to SGR, the physicians will face a 32% Medicare payment reduction when the payment patch expires at the end of this year. So it just continues to keep going up. At December 31st, it will be a 32% Medicare payment reduction. So that's going to be fun at the end of the year, but it will be a lame duck session of Congress, so they'll probably pass something that will go on for another year. The American Medical Association also voiced their displeasure with Congress with a press release from February 15th titled AMA Statement on 10-Month Delay of Medicare Physician Payment Cut. This is from Peter W. Carmel, MD, President of the American Medical Association. He says, the House and Senate Conference Committee agreement averts a 27% cut on March 1st, but it represents a serious missed opportunity to permanently replace the flawed Medicare physician payment formula and protect access to care for military families and seniors. People outside of Washington question the logic of spending nearly $20 billion to postpone one cut for a higher cut next year while increasing the cost of permanent solution by about another $25 billion. Congress had an opportunity to permanently end this problem, which is the sound, fiscally prudent policy choice. We appreciate efforts by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle who publicly supported a framework for the permanent end to this perennial problem. We are deeply disappointed that Congress chose to do another patch, kicking the can down the road. I love that phrase. Growing the problem and missing a clear opportunity to access to care for patients. Shortly after the coming elections, access to care for seniors and military will again be threatened by an even larger cut, and members of Congress will need to take swift action to end the broken formula. This is from our friends at the American Medical Association. And also the American Academy of Family Physicians on their AAFP Leader Voices blog had a post from Friday, February 17, entitled Medicare Payment Key Issue and Latest Round of Meetings with Congress and CMS. I encourage people to check out the AAFP Leader Voices blog. You can get there by going to blogs.aafp.org/CFR/Leader Voices, which is probably the worst URL, the most confusing URL out there. Hey, AAFP, how about this? Why don't you just have it say leader.aafp.org. That's just my little social media tip for the week for you guys. So Congress, again, passes a Band-Aid fix that will last 10 months. And then in December, right before Christmas, right when the world is going to end, that's when they will discuss again a 32% payment cut for physicians. Isn't that so exciting? I can't wait. Bring on the election. Oh, kids, what are we going to do with that? Okay, let me take another break here. And next topic, we'll still be on the American Academy of Family Physicians. They had a big powwow in the city of Dallas, Texas. Their AAFP Multi-State Forum in Dallas, Texas, February 18 and 19. They used a hashtag. They discussed a lot of interesting stuff. And we'll talk about that right after this. This is the Family Medicine Rocks podcast on the Sunday night here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. My name is Mike Savella, and we will be right back.